Hey. So welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and this will be a reading for the Earth signs. There's going to be 3 individual spreads here, obviously for each sign. If you already know all the rules to tarot, you can just skip to your sign. It's timestamped in the comments. If you are new to tarot, just know that not every reading is going to resonate for you. So if you feel like I'm wrong, I want you to just disregard a reading. You never want to take something that is not for you. I'm going to pull cards like King, Queen, Emperor, and Empress. Those cards describe a really specific personality, but have nothing to do with the sex or gender of the people being described. If you need to book a personal, that information's in the description of the video and in the pinned section of the comments. I've also linked in there my other social media. I do also offer a membership, so if you're subscribed to the channel, you can just click that same button if you'd like to see what I offer over there, or you can check the link in the description of the video. So, yeah, let's start with Taurus. Okay, so we have unfazed and allow the situation to unfold naturally, let go of control issues. So the overall energy here is the 10 of Swords. I have the 5 of Cups, the 4 of Swords, the Emperor, Aries energy. The Page of Swords, the Devil, Capricorn energy, and the Tower. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician, so some Virgo, Gemini energy as well. I feel like you're trying sort of to act unbothered towards a person. There's definitely someone that you want your distance from, and I think it really gives like you're trying to act like you don't even feel any type of way. You don't even care about this person anymore. It's a little, it's like a little bit manipulative, but I think it's self-protective. There seems to be an issue here with this person and their control over you. You could feel like we have the Devil here. So it's not like, an easy relationship, an easy person to deal with. And they probably make you, bring out the worst in you as well. And so it seems to me like you really need a break here. Like, even though it hurts, you feel like you need to rest, you need to recuperate. But, I think also how you're trying to act is almost like it's not really bothering you. Like you're just sort of unfazed by this, while this underneath is the reality with this Page of Swords, the Devil, and the Tower. So you could be falling apart, but you just feel like you need to not bother this person, keep your distance, let them do whatever the hell they want to do, and act like you don't care anymore. It's almost like it's like you're just trying to, it's given, I'm hurt, but I'm just going to go do what I got to do. Because this person has some like toxic hold over you. And I think you recognize here that you're also trying to control them. You're trying to force them to act right. It's like, this is the type of stuff that just gets exhausting. But it seems like in your position, you're not being compromised for, you just keep compromising. So I understand your want to just sort of take a break. You need a minute. Now, what I don't like is something that you're seeing here with the Page of Swords. I mean, especially if you look at this Page of Swords. Everybody knows this deck, they've seen it, but this is definitely getting some new information. And something about this is not actually fun for you. So this would be like, I take a break from a person because I'm exhausted. We keep fighting, they're being mean, So I just need a couple of days to myself, but then I find on the internet that they're already talking to someone else, or, like there's just, or they're telling me that they're just going to find somebody else, just something really toxic where it's like they just feel like they need to control and manipulate a situation, and your best bet is to just act like you don't care what they're doing at all, because it's all a game. This is complicated. The Eight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Hermit. Some Virgo energy there. The Ten of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Taurus energy, the Page of Cups, and at the bottom of the deck, the Six of Cups. Well, got the World here too. Maybe this is just something that you need to see because it's given the codependent features, with the devil. Two people who are obsessed with each other but also don't know how to cope with any kind of breakup or really resolve any issues between the two of them. It sort of looks like you've pulled away and you're acting like you don't really care about this person. And they don't know what to do with that. So what you see is them spiral out of control and sort of go and try to get into something new here. But this should also tell you everything you need to know about this person. And I'm just going to say it like that. For some of you, you're recognizing that there is somebody that they do have some history with. They're circling around back to now. Or maybe this person's kind of always been in the mix, There's just something going on here with this that's really messy. I don't like it. If you feel like, you're seeing it, it is a form of manipulation. It's like the classic, someone who can't be alone type of thing. But there's also this reality here that it's sort of like the two of you play in that same game though, right? Like you're acting like you don't care. You don't want this person. You don't care what they're doing. You're not coming back. And at the same time, you're hurt when they want to deal with someone else. But the reality is they're dealing with someone else to hurt you. So that's just as toxic as it gets. There is no resolve. There's just a ton of disappointment. Maybe it's time to look from both places. It's okay to say, well, I'm hurt that I would be replaced so quickly and that this person wouldn't do what I was asking for a change. I don't know. I do feel like it's unfair, you know, because it's looking like, you know, this person is definitely trying to like play their hand here. And I think make it look like I said, you're like easily replaceable here, you know, or, you know, if you don't want them, someone else does type of energy. But like, again, I feel like the also control. So, but what I'm asking is like if the first person, because everybody, you know, kind of tries to say it's in the reverse as soon as you bring something up, what I'm seeing is two people both trying to be in control here, neither person coping with a breakup properly, and neither person having great communication skills. Like, both people are trying to control each other though. One person feels like another person should be changing who they are and changing their behavior to act right for them. And if they're not going to, then this person's going to separate themselves until they get their shit together. And the other person's like, well, I'll just go find somebody that'll accept me for who I am right now. And then the other person. So it's the same game. It's very mirrored though. And I feel like that needed to be said. So kind of has to be, especially with the Hermit. So I'm like looking at like where we are also going wrong or what's going on in the situation, you know? Because even if you never get this back, you'll have to enter another relationship. And it's like, are we going to have those same type of, you know, mindsets where try to control how someone else lives or what they're doing instead of just saying, hey, this isn't for me, and going before it's possible to really be so deep into it. Please. Okay, so we have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens, and a dirty offer. So the overall energy here, the Knight of Wands, I have the Hermit, Virgo energy, the Six of Wands, the Six of Swords. The King of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and at the bottom of the deck, Justice, Libra energy. Somebody wasn't serious. Or maybe it's warning that somebody isn't serious. Somebody's a player. They're very independent and they like their freedom. They're also very attractive. They know how to talk to people. They're quite charming. I feel like there's a situation that you're trying to move from. This person may be stroking your ego, that, they make you feel good because, again, they're attractive and they know how to say and do all the right things here. Problem is, they're going to ghost. So there's somebody that you're putting a lot of time and energy into, and they just bounce. Just understand that was the right thing for you, because I think it's a facade. I don't think that someone actually is how they show up. I feel like they are physically attractive, like they appear, but whatever kind of story they're coming in with is not real. Like I feel like this is the type of person, he's got that lion behind him. And I don't usually look at this card this way, and with that wand, a little predatory. It's not somebody who shows up and is just keeping it real about what they want with somebody. I feel like this is somebody who will get you in your emotions for no reason. Make it seem like, you're going to get somewhere with them. But in reality, they're just putting in work to get what they want, and then there will, I feel like it's trying to warn somebody, or it's telling you this is who somebody is and what they do. It doesn't really have anything to do with you, if that already happened. So it depends what timeline you're on with this, but the Seven of Cups, the Ten of Wands, the Four of Wands, Four of Cups at the bottom. Yeah, they just have it's given they have a string of events like this, so they have a lot of options, and they'll just kind of drop someone to go in a whole different direction. This is somebody who doesn't want to settle down. They're not interested in a relationship. They may talk that shit, but they're not it. So no matter where you are on this timeline, right? If you've already, talked to this person and all of a sudden they're ghosting you after making some plans or making you feel like it was going to be more than it is, this is all it was. They're not mature enough to keep it real. And that's that. But for some of you, if you are talking to someone new, be careful about what you just listen to what somebody's saying, you know what I mean? Especially if you've kind of been through something like that before, because I think somebody's just walked away from some shit where it wasn't, it was great in the beginning and it turned out to not be, that person wasn't who they said they were. They didn't want what they said they did. You don't want to get back into that again. What in the heck? Okay, let's go Capricorn. So we have spiritual hater, hates on your spirituality, light, magic, or power, and scarcity tactics. With express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. What in the heck is all this? Overall energy, the Queen of Cups. The Three of Pentacles, the Fool, Aquarius energy, the Chariot, Cancer energy. The Ten of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. And at the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Cups. I think you're your own spiritual. Somebody here they don't have a lot of confidence, right? There is someone that they're attracted to here and that they would like to have something with, but it's given, they don't know how this person feels, if this person feels the same way, if it would go anywhere. It's more about wanting it. Now, I don't know, maybe this is someone around you who feels like this about you instead, but the point is somebody who feels like maybe this person would reject them or they're not enough for this person. But, I see two equals here. They may be in two different elements, but they're two equals. But I think somebody really has you in your feelings here. There's something here where you're like, you dreaming or like fantasizing about like what life could be like with this person in it. So I feel like there's already a bond there, It's like nobody's talking about it. Maybe everybody's just kind of friends. But definitely on one person's end here for sure. They want this. This is who they want. But again, I think they don't have enough. So let's see. How's this Queen of Pentacles feel? The Knight of Pentacles, Death, Scorpio energy, Two of Pentacles. The Eight of Cups, the Nine of Wands, Strength, Leo energy. And at the bottom of the deck, Judgment. I don't think this person thinks much of themselves. I don't think they think that you have a crush on them. I think this person is your equal. I think they don't ever think anyone's really attracted to them. I don't... I understand the established bond here, though, because it's almost like this person was struggling through something and you were really there. I don't know if, like, somebody... like abandoned them or, something happened with the Eight of Cups where they went through an issue where they really had to leave a situation that wasn't serving them anymore. It took them some time to get past this. And I feel like you were there to be their strength. So they definitely do see you as a friend. You help them get over things. But I think they don't think that you like them. They think you're just a nice person. This could be an interesting person because I think they aren't like hyper sexual or romanticized. They find you physically attractive. But I think they haven't thought too deep into any emotional aspect because they think you're not interested in them. And that could be why it's saying you need to express and stop thinking of yourself this way. So, if you're thinking, would this person even like me? I think they don't actually think like that. I think it's how they don't see themselves as some uber sexual attractive being that somebody would just want to date, Do they find you attractive? Yeah, for sure. But, if you're expecting this person to just pop out and say it or something, that's not going to happen. They feel like you wouldn't be interested in them. Maybe Maybe they've just dealt mostly with people who weren't, or they just don't care about that kind of thing, really. They don't. The Star, Temperance, Justice. Yeah, just tell somebody how you're feeling so you can get what you want. Or maybe that's how this person's feeling. Like they're just going to finally tell you how they're feeling so they can, see what happens. So you can expect that, or you need to just go ahead and tell somebody that you like them. It will definitely work out in your favor here. All right. I'll see you guys next week.